What comes to mind when we hear the word biofuels? Probably lush green forests, clean rivers, and vibrant wildlife, right? So it's easy to assume that biofuels made from sources like crops, oils and fats must be somehow sustainable. Well, that's not quite the case. These fuels may reduce ships' and planes' carbon emissions, but they also put nature and biodiversity at serious risk. In actual fact, biofuel production causes air pollution, damages soil, and introduces pesticides and fertilisers that harm natural spaces and seriously disrupt our ecosystems. But the good news is we have a better option when it comes to alternative fuels.
And those are e-fuels, and that's really where we need to focus our efforts on decarbonisation. So our report lays out the research that shows what is the scenarios in 2030 and 2050 for our biodiversity and decarbonisation goals. What we have at the moment, unfortunately, is rules on decarbonised shipping and aviation that might endanger biodiversity if it's not done right. But what our research shows is that there's a way to do it right, which is to use e-fuels. Fuels produced from renewable energy are really the way forward that we can both decarbonise shipping and aviation because they bring the greatest reductions, and that puts a lot less stress on the EU's biodiversity. And we have a number of great members in SASHA, the Skies and Seas Hydrogen Fuels Accelerator Coalition, that are working to produce exactly these fuels.
Arcadia eFuels has been at the front line of developing eSAF to cut aviation emissions. But the production is capital intensive, and we therefore require government's financial support for early movers, as well as serious investment in renewable electricity, and to put the right policies in place to realize their full potential.
The EU is at a crossroads, but choosing the right fuel is critical. If we invest in e-fuels rather than biofuels today, we protect our biodiversity for decades to come.